You've pulled the rug from underneath them. Hmm. Target individual's psychic reading. So, bottom of the deck, I've got the Empress in the reverse. Okay, so what this feels like, I feel like you've had a feminine energy, maybe one, maybe more, who've been trying to stop you, block you, and it feels like something's recently happened whereby whereas they've been kind of trying to confuse you, they might have been putting some kind of chaos magic on you, etc., etc. Something's happened, and I feel like this is. I don't feel it's like something that you've planned, but you've shifted and changed something, and it's whipped the rug from underneath them. So obviously, sometimes these readings kind of dip into situations that I'm going through, despite them being collective, because obviously I'm not specifically reading for somebody. So case in point with my main account, right? I deactivated. I was going to delete it, but I found out you could deactivate it. So I thought, sod it, I'm gonna deactivate it. Give me a bit of breathing space, and I'll focus on the backup account. Um, Now, in the meantime, people who've been wanting to take control, take advantage, coming in, using my platform with the amount of followers I have, to give themselves credence, and as soon as that kind of deactivation went ahead, it's like they've either buggered off or they've turned. Okay, they've revealed their cards too quickly. Okay, they're not as smart as they think. These attackers. Okay, you were it's like in my case, it was just it's just like that's the way it panned out as far as I'm concerned. But having divine guidance and higher self guidance, it happened for a reason. It happened that way for a reason. King of Swords in the reverse, Four of Cups in the reverse, so on the bottom of that, Lord of Blended Pleasure, Princess of Pentacles, Princess of the Echoing Hills, High Priestess. So what this feels like is that you've dealt with a King of Swords. So this person, this Empress in the reverse, because you've pulled the rug out from underneath them and they've fallen off their throne. They've now slipped into toxic masculine energy. Okay, they're revealing themselves as a narcissist or narcissistic tendencies. With the Four of Cups in the reverse position, there, that pleasure that they were getting out of you, thinking, yes, this is it. They're out the way now. And getting some. I want to say getting some kind of cruel, twisted pleasure out of the situation. Well, that's gone now. The Princess of Pentacles, with the princesses in the Hermetic Tarot deck, because they've got their boobs out, basically, this can often talk to me about siren energy. So I feel like they're normally, I feel like they're good at playing the fluttering the eyelids, the eyelashes card, and I feel like they've been used to getting their way with people by doing that. Now I feel like this collective here was always kind of wise to that side of things. You know what I mean? And they kind of didn't play up to it. Okay. They've done it because Pentacles, I feel like they've been trying to rob some of your energies, potentially some of your money, something along those lines. But that's just confirmation there, High Priestess. You've been divinely guided in this situation. Bottom of the deck, Four of Swords, Lord of Rest from Strife. Okay, so you're going back into a more abundant era. King of Cups, Prince of the Chariot of Waters, and what I've always drawn to on this card, it's going to be a bit hard to see, but the King's staring down a snake. Okay, you've faced that snake-like energy direct on. Okay, now on the card as well, the snake's looking down. He's not really looking at the king. So this snake's been distracted by what's been going off. They thought they got their other way. You've clocked them. Okay, and then we've got ten of wands in the reverse, Lord of Oppression in the reverse. So you've broken free of this because what that always reminds me of with the lattice there, it's like some fancy Tartarian jail cell door, and you've broken free of that. Okay, the aim of the game for them is now over. Okay, they'll try and spin the narrative as they always do. Okay, some will believe them, some won't. Okay, they will start to reveal themselves for who they truly are. So I would strongly advise if they're something like a psychic or creator or whatnot, just take note of what they're saying, take note of what they're putting on their captions and stuff like that. And if it's got this kind of slight going from, might be a little bit kind of bolshy, the stuff they normally put on there, but if it's starting to look a bit toxic, just be warned. So let's go to the what's the tea deck and see what's coming out. Okay, interesting. Marrying for money. We'll come back to that in a second. Running, and then groupies. So marrying for money. As always, it's not to say this person is marrying for money, but that's their morals, ethics, and standards. They will quite happily get into something just for the money. They're running. Okay, I feel like that because this rug's been pulled out, they're trying to run away from the situation. Clues to who they are as well. They've got groupies. So they might be a content creator. They might run things like development groups. They might just be popular on, out and about in real life. Okay. Right, it's somebody that you've rejected, okay, ghosted hard, ignored and erased. You might have blocked them, okay? You're going on to jackpot, unexpected windfall, right place, right time, big blessings ahead. It's been a while since that one's come out for my collective. So good for you. Okay, Source is proud of you. You've you've bumbled and stumbled your way through this part, okay, but now know that this is your era to glow up and shine. Now know the crown is rightfully being placed on the head of the chosen. Okay, these false pretenders, these false chosen ones are now going to feel the retribution of karma. Okay, how dare they? How dare they attempt to steal your light? How dare they attempt to use a chosen one of Source who is here on a divine mission to try and gain through greed, control? Okay, how dare they? Their tower is falling, and then I'm seeing the tower card from the Hermetics in my mind, which is called the Blasted Tower, and it's taking a good old lightning bolt to bring the tower down. Can we get some more clues on this person, please? I've just clocked wolf in sheep's clothing. Right, so I feel it's somebody that might have had some kind of romantic interest in you at some point at least, because we've got into you, good chemistry, great vibes, pure intentions. I feel like they might have started off that way, but they've been kind of taken over and turned because you've rejected them. Talking shiz, gossip behind your back, spreading lies, smiling in your face. Okay, that's probably what's been going off. They're now in the process of receiving their bad karma, and you're being asked to dust it off. Okay, take no notes of any potential messages that come through. Just read them if you want, but delete them. Take note of them creeping in through things like fake accounts. I feel if they do use fake accounts, they'll say it's them, okay, and they'll want to question why. They'll know why that they have been blocked because it's too obvious at this point. But they're going to come in and try because they feel like you're a bit of a fool. They think that they're smarter than you because they've got these narcissistic tendencies. So they think that they can come in on a fake account and do the whole, why have you blocked me? What's that about? I don't understand, blah, 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 blah. This, again, we've got into at the bottom. This person's a happiness hater. Okay, so if you're in a connection, be it love connection, friendship connection, stuff like that, they're lurking. They don't like it. They cannot stand the fact that they have been played out. They cannot stand the fact that you rejected them and said no, and then as things have panned out, you've then pulled the rug from underneath them, unwittingly maybe, but pulled the rug nonetheless. Legal issues, facing court matters, paperwork and delays, dealing with authority. So this, if this involves any kind of ill behaviour in that sense, that could be catching up with them. So there you go. Targeted individuals readings, same day guaranteed from £10. Get them in. We'll check out your situation. Ta-ta.